Hello. Playing another game. 2000 points. Pitched battle. Night Goblins versus Night Goblins. Do you want to go through your list and deployment?
Yeah, so on the right over here we've got most of my squigs. I've got the 2 Mangler squigs, 10 squig hoppers, all with cavalry spears and light armour. You've also got a Night Goblin war boss on Cave Squig over there. He's got a Walloper's one hit wonder. He's also got the meteoric armour, and he's got the talisman of protection. So he's obviously just going to go in and try and take on the biggest monster he can. I've got my big block of Night Goblins in here, all with spears and shields. I've got my general in there and a battle standard bearer. The general has got a giant blade. He's also got Paymaster's coin, so he can, once in the game, re-roll his hits. And he has the armor, the Dead Hard armor, the battle standard bearer. Yeah, so he's just the normal battle standard. He hasn't got a magical banner, just to help with combat resolution and panic checks. I've got my 6 stone trolls. Hopefully they'll do something this game. I've got my big block of archers with my wizard. I didn't roll for Evil Sun this time, so not getting reroll 1s to hit. -1 penetration, but I do have Bad Moon Rising. Here we go. And I've chosen to go have Itchy Nuisance for my 3rd spell. And then on the left here, I've got my 2 units of my squig herds, which did really well last game, so hopefully they can sort of hold up this side against the Spider Riders.
So on the good Night Goblin side, we'll call it, we've got the general or war boss on Weavern with Trollhide trousers, giant blade, the Thinking Orcs hat and charm shield. Then got 12 Spider Riders with Spider Banner, full command, light armor, shields, and spears, and the short bows. Got 1 Doom Diver there, another one in that far corner. Then got 24 Night Goblins with hand weapons, shields, full command, and netters. And in there's level 3 on elementalism with Ruby Ring and Idol of Gork. Then there's another 24 Night Goblins with hand weapon, shield, netters. And in there's a big boss with 1 hit wonder and charm shield. Then there's a little level 1 4 stone trolls with great weapons. Then on this flank, they've got the troll hag with talisman of protection, level 2, and then it's 3 pump wagons. Spells, the level 3 got Itchy Nuisance, Flaming Sword, and Wind Blast. The level 1 got, here we go, the troll hag on that flank has got big smarts and rapid regeneration. Okay, end of the Night Goblins turn 1. It's been just a general advance up the board with pretty much everything. There's no magic or shooting this turn. The trolls passed their stupidity and have advanced up here. End of Orc and Goblin movement. The Spider Riders and the Night Goblins in the centre have moved up. These trolls failed their stupidity. The troll hag passed hers, but then failed to cast big smarts to let them re-roll. Pump wagons moved up 8 over here. and then the war boss has moved up a little bit in the centre. Tried to cast Itchy Nuisance over there, but failed. Over here, the spiders fired into this unit and killed one. The ruby ring here shot at this unit and managed to kill 4, and then put wind blast into this unit, killing some and pushing them back. And then this doom diver killed 4 more. Over here, the pump wagons unloaded all their shots into this unit and managed to kill 1. And then the doom diver here isn't here anymore because it miscast and killed itself. Misfired and killed itself. End of turn 2 Night Goblins movement. The squigs have advanced up here. The Night Goblins have advanced up in the centre, and they've cast Itchy Nuisance on this unit and reduced their initiative and toughness by 2. Over here, the trolls passed their stupidity and have advanced up with this other unit in the centre. Over here, the squig hoppers have charged the pump wagons, and everything else has advanced up. The squig hoppers kind of blocked anything else from getting in, or the movement wasn't quite enough to get them in. End of Night Goblins turn 2. This unit shot into here, killing 4. The poison didn't matter because their toughness was so low. And over here, this squigs killed the pump wagons quite easily and then have reformed. Orc and Goblin turn 2 movement. The troll hag and the trolls both passed their stupidity and have charged. They needed a 6 to get in. Moved up here. Failed big smarts, but passed the stupidity anyway this turn. This unit have just moved sideways a little bit to make a bit of space, and the war bosses moved up a little bit. Here, this unit have moved up a little bit and turned, tried to cast Itchy Nuisance themselves, but failed. And then here, passed the Impetuous and decided not to charge, but just moved up a little bit to give themselves 1 more turn of shooting. End of Orc and Goblin shooting phase. Spider Riders shot into here, killing 2 more. Here, Ruby Ring went off and managed to kill 7 of this unit, leaving only this Goblin left. Here, cast Wind Blast against this unit, tried to use Glow Green Amulet to stop it, rolled a 1, so the Shaman took a wound, and then Wind Blast killed a few and pushed them back a little. The Doom Diver also tried to go into this unit, but scattered miles off even with its redirection. So, end of the Orc and Goblin turn. The trolls went in here, killed some, but didn't do anywhere near enough to overturn the massive static res, and they broke and got run down. Here, the troll hag rolled Smother and managed to kill 7 with the large blast, and then stomped on the 1 remaining one and has reformed so that at least these 3 are kind of in the front. Night Goblin turn 3 movement. Quite a lot happened in the movement. These 2 have gone into the troll hag. There was another mangler here, but both these Night Goblin units released their Fanatics. There's 1 still there, heading towards the war boss. The other 2 that came out of this unit rolled doubles and died, and the 2 that came out of this unit went through this unit, taking 6 or 7 on the way through, and then hitting and killing the other mangler that was there between them. But then they went into the woods and died. The trolls failed their stupidity and are there. This unit have moved up a little bit. On this flank, the one remaining goblin failed his impetuous and had to charge in. This unit charged in anyway, but they've taken 2 on the way in to stand and shoot. Tried to cast Itchy Nuisance on this unit, but failed. End of Night Goblin turn 3. Over here, the troll hag managed to save or regen everything that hit it, so it lost combat but hasn't actually taken any wounds, and it's put 2 onto the war boss. Over here, the squigs did really well and killed 9 on the charge. They took a few wounds in return, and the spiders are currently running away. Orc and Goblin turn 3 movement. The Fanatic here clipped the corner of this unit, killing 1. And these units have just repositioned slightly to face the other Night Goblin units. And over here, they rallied and have turned round. Over here, the Troll Hag has cast Big Smarts on herself. And then the Shaman has cast Itchy Nuisance on this unit and reduced their toughness by 1. End of shooting. Over here, I tried to shoot at this unit, but didn't do anything. Ruby Ring and Wind Blast hit this unit and did quite a lot of damage, partly thanks to Itchy Nuisance, and pushed them back 2 inches. The Doom Diver also hit them and killed another 4, but they passed their leadership, their panic test. So end of the combat over here, the attacks didn't do anything to each other, but then the Troll Hag stomped on the war boss, killing it, and the Mangler has run away and the Troll Hag is chasing it. Night Goblin turn 4 movement. The Mangler didn't rally and has continued to flee here. In the middle, this unit has charged here, and the trolls passed their stupidity and come up in support. The Night Goblins here have moved up a little bit. They tried to cast Itchy Nuisance on these Night Goblins, but failed. It passed, but then got dispelled. Remaining Fanatic has moved over here. And then over here, so these 2 are actually separate units. They both failed their impetuous and had to charge here. They stood and shot, killing 2. So there's now only 1 squig left in one squig unit and 1 goblin left in the other squig unit. Okay, so end of the turn. Over here, the one remaining squig that got in killed 2 of the spider riders before they got to attack. But then the spider killed the 1 remaining squig, and the rider killed the 1 remaining Night Goblin. So both units were destroyed, and then it's overrun here. There weren't enough squigs for them to go wild and kill anything anymore. Over here, the big boss in this unit declared a challenge and killed the champion from this unit and got a few points of overkill. Then this unit lost 3 and managed to kill 1 from this other unit. They're both now equal in number, 21, and with all counting up all the other static res, this Night Goblin unit won by 1 and have pushed this unit back and followed up into them. Okay, so end of turn movement. Both these units, well, there was a unit there, released their Fanatics. So the 2 Fanatics from this unit both hit and did a combined 11 wounds. Then the remaining unit failed their panic and fled back through them, and that killed the rest of them. Here, one of the Fanatics rolled a double 6 and died. The other 2 hit this unit, killing 5 of them, but they passed their panic thanks to the war boss being there. Over here, the Troll Hag has turned to face here. It was just out of range to declare a charge over there. This one lone Fanatic over here is also still on the board and has moved to join up with the other Fanatics a little bit. And the war boss has charged into the trolls here. Okay, so end of the Orc and Goblin turn. There was one extra bit of movement. We forgot about this unit, moved up a little bit. Here, the war boss and Wyvern killed 1 troll and put 2 wounds on another, and has taken 1 wound in return and pushed them back. Here, the 2 units that were here did some damage to each other. So this remaining unit took 4 wounds, but did 6 to the other Night Goblin unit, and then ran them down. They got a lot more static res thanks to a very minor outnumbering and the BSB being in there, as well as the extra wounds caused. End of movement. This Night Goblin unit has gone into the side of the Warboss and Wyvern. The last Mangler continued to flee and has run off the board. Over here, one of these stayed where it was, the other rolled a double and died. These 3 Fanatics, one of them rolled a hit and stayed where it was, and the other 2 have just moved a little bit over here. Combat. The two war bosses fought each other in a challenge. The war boss and Wyvern killed the other war boss, taking 1 wound in return, but then static res was so high that it lost combat. It fled not very far, but it could fit through this gap and it was flying. So it's managed to get away because this unit couldn't reach it because of the terrain. And then these trolls have reformed to face the hag. Orc and Goblin movement. The Troll Hag, past stupidity, wasn't in range to charge anything, but has moved up here. And this Night Goblin Shaman has moved up a little bit. Here, the war boss rallied and then flew round here and then lumbered to face that way. Here, this unit have sidestepped a little bit to try and get some arc past the house. All 3 of these Fanatics stayed where they were, and the one remaining Fanatic, which was roughly where the war boss is, hit the house over here. End of the turn. Windblast and Ruby Ring went into this unit here, killed some of them, and then they failed their panic. They don't have any ranks for Warband now, so they've fled over here. The Doom Diver also tried to fire at them, but scattered too far to redirect into anything useful. End of the Night Goblins' last turn. This unit have rallied, but they're not really doing anything now. The Trolls failed their stupidity. Over here, 2 of the Fanatics rolled hits and stayed where they were, and the ones moved 7 inches closer to the Doom Diver. End of the Orc and Goblins' last turn of movement. The Troll had charged into this unit. They failed their terror and then got run down. They didn't run very far. And the War Boss has gone into the back of the Trolls here. Over here, one of the Fanatics rolled a double and died. One of them moved back about 3 inches, and then the other one has gone close to this unit, but not quite enough to hit them. End of the turn and end of the game. The War Boss on Wyvern and the Trolls didn't actually do any lasting damage on each other. They both sides regened basically everything they did, but then the War Boss won the combat because of the rear charge and has run them down as they've fled. So the only thing from the Night Goblin side left on the table is some Fanatics flying around.